Laura Co's Live. I want to bring in Rick Hasen. He is a professor of law and political science and director of the Safeguarding Democracy Project at the UCLA School of Law. He's also the author of A Real Right to Vote: How a Constitutional Amendment Can Safeguard American Democracy. Rick, don't worry, I won't ask you for some song you're going to sing or some artist we're going to reference tonight. Instead, I'm just going to get right to the heart of the matter, because you wrote this article today questioning why the Supreme Court took so long to decide to even hear this immunity case. Why do you think they have taken this long?
Well, the court's really an opaque institution, so we can only guess. And so I came up with three guesses. One is there was some bargaining going on behind the scenes. Remember, there's a disqualification case out of Colorado where Trump's trying to be kicked off the ballot. Maybe there was going to be some horse trading there and it didn't work out. Second thing is maybe a justice was dragging their feet, trying to delay things to run out the clock to help Trump. Most likely is that the Supreme Court just goes on its own schedule and lets the chips fall where they may. And so if they decide, this is when we want to hear it, the end of April, we'll issue an opinion likely at the end of June. And if there's not enough time for Trump to be put on trial for election interference before the election, so be it. And so it's just kind of I think, not giving the American people all of the information that they would want before they have to vote in November.
I mean, so be it really translates to limbo, right? That's what you're leaving people in. And it doesn't just mean with respect to whether Trump, but it's also about the state of our institutions. I mean, the checks and balances, that's very much part of our whole democracy. That seems to be on pause and a state of limbo as well.
Yeah, I think that's true. And especially because, Colorado had its own procedure. They determined that Trump was disqualified in their state to run. And that's likely to be reversed given the timing that we've seen in the oral argument of the Supreme Court there. The classified documents case been slowed down. So to the extent that people want to get some judgment about Trump's performance as president, something from the court, something where a jury is going to weigh in, that hush money case is really about his pre-presidential conduct. It's really not as serious as some of these other charges. And so I feel like with this step by the Supreme Court today, we are just much less likely to know, the full extent of what Trump did as judged by a jury of his peers before people have to vote.
Isn't that concerning? Or I would think it would be concerning to say Justice Roberts, who knows the credibility of the court, the perception that somehow they are, paving the streets with gold for Donald Trump, or that they are somehow greasing the wheels. That's a perception that they've got to counter. And now this does, to some, feel like that.
Well, what the court is likely to do, I think, in the immunity decision, which they probably won't issue, as we said, till the end of June, is they're going to side against Trump. So it's going to look like a big loss for Donald Trump. He can be put on trial. He does not have immunity. But because it's going to take months to gear things up, it's very hard for me to imagine the trial taking place in the middle of the general election period when Trump's supposed to be debating his opponent and going out and campaigning. So we may run out the clock in the end after all.
Rick Hasen, thank you so much.